my next TheDon.
Except my Steez. You know what's going on.
So right now we're about to bring you the round 4 recap. And man,
as always, it's an interesting week to say the least. I feel like you about to be saying this every video, man.
Bro, this is the most unpredictable sport that I've ever watched, bro. As soon as I think I got the teams down on where I think they are, the next week comes around and ruins my whole ideals, bro.
It took you to be closer to mine, so at least be happy with that.
This week, bro. Getting into this week, bro. First game, we got Sydney versus Essendon. What you gotta say about that, bro?
I like this game, bro. I enjoy this game a lot. Okay, so my takeaways from this game, I enjoyed the Francis and Buddy matchup. I noticed they were matched up a lot, and I enjoyed seeing them go back at it. I would say ultimately Buddy won with 3 goals, and in this game he had 950th career goal. So shout out to Buddy. It was a dope midfield matchup. I'm seeing Errol Golden do his thing all game, and he just looks like a player who's wise beyond his years, and he's not even like playing his age. He's playing like a 5-year veteran in the league. And then Jake Stringer, he's playing good. He's been playing good all year. He's a big reason why they led at the quarter time. It's just an enjoyable game all around, man. There's just too many players really shout out. And went down to the wire, so I enjoyed it.
So for me, the Sydney and Essendon game, Essendon showed me a lot this game. I came into this game expecting Sydney to blow Essendon out, but Essendon showed me that they can contend. They have a team, and when they play good, when everything's put together for them, they can compete with a top-tier team. And I feel like Sydney was kind of making some mistakes early on. Their age was kind of showing that they were a younger team, and I think teams are gonna start taking advantage of that moving on in the season. And Essendon showed everybody like Sydney can definitely be stopped. They've been looking pretty unstoppable these first 4 games, but they definitely can be stopped. Also, Buddy Franklin did play this game, and I wonder if Buddy Franklin is actually slowing Sydney down from their full potential, because it did seem like they were kind of focusing on getting the ball to Buddy Franklin a lot, and I feel like they're more of an effective team when they have all those options. When they're more unpredictable, you don't really know where the ball is going, because a lot of plays this game I felt like the ball was going to Buddy, and Essendon was ready to stop Buddy. But yeah, shout out to him for his 950 goals too, for sure.
Also, shout out to Nick Cox too. He played his ass off, man.
Yeah.
And I think Sydney could have won this game by a lot more. Look at the behinds, 11 and 17.
Definitely.
But it was still an enjoyable game.
Yeah, for sure.
Next game is Port Richmond, man.
It was a close game. I feel like it didn't feel like it was a close game when you were watching it.
Port probably should have won by more, I feel like, to be honest. Yeah, Robbie Gray, he made his presence felt early. I thought Port moved the ball pretty well. And I noticed that in previous games too, even in games that they've lost, they moved the ball well. I just think they were kind of stopping Richmond in the tracks early. They dominated like the inside. The fourth half, like the first half, it seemed like they were intercepting the passing lanes. I don't know if I said that already. They just play like a veteran team, and even when they're not playing well, you can tell that they still stick to their formula. And I hate to see them next week, man.
For me, this game, Richmond played a steady, consistent game, especially in the first half. Port, shout out to Port, man. Port got some warriors on their team, or they either got some warriors on their team or they needed a better training facility, because some boys was getting hurt left and right out there, bro. It's like every few minutes a Port player was going down, getting benched, going to the locker room, whatever. Yeah, Port stayed consistent. Port stayed consistent as well. It was a back and forth game throughout really all 4 quarters. Young man Lockie Jones showed up. He definitely made his presence felt. That's a young player I'm going to be looking out for going forward. This was a real enjoyable game. It was maybe a grand final preview.
Hope not. Oh.
Hey, it was a good game to watch.
Yeah. Hopefully Dusty will play better if it do, because they say Dusty is finals player, not necessarily.
Right.
So, next game, Brisbane and Western Bulldogs. I was looking forward to this game just off the fact of the midfield. I know they're both supposed to have higher tier midfield, but after watching the game, you kind of come away with only one team as being having a decent midfield. Western just been showing me what they've been showing me all season. I've always said Brisbane so far has been a question mark, and they're just proving to me that they're not. Maybe the question mark is just me keep on giving them the benefit of the doubt, and they're just not that good as of right now, man. Like, Western jumped on them. Like, granted, it was bad weather. It was bad weather the whole game, but Western just makes themselves available for the pass every time. If I played for Western, I would feel good. I would feel like, okay, they're gonna look for me. I feel like I can get to where, you know what I'm saying? I can get wherever I need to get, and my teammate will look for me without being selfish, and I'll be able to make a play. And then they have too many players, bro. Like, there's so many good players that play for Western, and it just seems like Brisbane players didn't show up. Like the forward line, no, Danaher had that little highlight goal at the end, but him and Cameron aren't really gelling together. Like, the whole forward line, I don't really see any cohesion between them. So, and maybe that's the issue with them. But right now, I don't see Brisbane doing much, man.
Yeah, I think you pretty much said it with this game with Doggies and Fitzroy. The Dogs just had control of this game for the entire game. I didn't look at the time ahead or time of lead, whatever, but I'm pretty sure Western was ahead this whole game.
Pretty much.
It just seems like they fell off the hardest out of all the teams that should be a top tier team. They're 16 on the ladder right now. They gonna have to fight for their spot back up, and I just don't see it. With all the talent they have, they're just not producing what they should be doing.
I agree. The only time I did have them actually having some type of spark was like midway through the third quarter, and you just kind of still felt like Western was going to win anyway, regardless.
Right.
That's enough of that game.
Next game, we got West Coast and the Saints.
You have the honors. The floor is yours.
Ah, man. So, look, I went into this game thinking West Coast was going to win for sure. And I started having no doubts in the first quarter because we had those first 3 goals early, and then Max King showed up. And Max King put in a lot of work. Max King seemed like their go-to on offense. Like, once Max King got going, that's when everybody else kind of started pitching in. That's when, what's her name?
Membry, yeah.
Yeah,
Tim Membry.
That's when Membry started playing the skipper, if you will. He started getting involved. Later in the first quarter, we did start getting control back of the game, but we just didn't keep it. The Saints started putting too much pressure on us, and we just folded, man. It's like we really just folded under the pressure. Saints just we didn't have any time to get any control of the ball. I feel like we work best in transition when our forwards are in the game, and the Saints took that away from us. The Saints made our forwards come back to our 50 to help defend because the amount of pressure they were applying in the midfield. Like, we just couldn't get anything going at all that whole pretty much second half of the game. I think we scored our last goal halfway through the third quarter, and at the time it was 81 to like 61, I believe. And you see the end score is 102 to 82. They completely shut us down that fourth quarter. Really the whole second half, it was their game. Like, we just couldn't stop any of the pressure they put on us. They were folding easy plays that we make all the time. We just couldn't handle it. It was like, we got to do better than this. If we're going to be a grand final contender team, we need to be able to handle this pressure. Pressure is either gonna bust pipes or make diamonds, and our pipes definitely got busted this game, bro.
Yeah. And he pretty much said it, man. Like, St Kilda been known for having a slow start this season, and they did continue to trend. They had a slow start. But they came back, I think, with 4 goals in a row after the first 3, like you said. And Max King kind of entered the scene there. He had beat his career high in the first quarter. And I think West Coast came back with another 4 after their 3. Another 3 after their 4. And St Kilda kind of just weathered the storm a little bit until halftime and really upped their game and had a nice talk at halftime or something. Because, like you said, they really dominated that second half, man. And I really ruled them out after last week's performance. I definitely did. But I will say about St Kilda, they're still doing that dumb shit, man, where you'll go ahead and kick the ball down inside the 50, and then everybody will jump, and then somebody just nosy their ass around and just fucking gets a goal in the back. Like, is that some St Kilda shit or what? Because that shit happens every game, bro.
Next game we got Gold Coast and Carlton.
Carlton Blues. Look at the check that's out. Look, this is ironic. Look, I didn't even put this on for Carlton, but guess what? It's Carlton, motherfucker. This for Carlton now.
Right.
All right, so, all right, going into this game, I respect Gold Coast. I thought Gold Coast is a decent team, but I also knew that we're hammered by injuries. So I didn't really know what to expect as far as seeing the first 2 weeks and the second 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks, rather, which Carlton's gonna show up, and it was a tough, tight game. Pretty much the whole game it was a decent game. It was in bad weather, but it was a low-scoring affair. 70 points to 59 points. We won the game. Shout out to us. It was a tough game, man. You could tell because it took Harry McKay a while to get going. Even the whole first quarter, he was non-existent, but he ended up tying for goals leader. Mark Murphy 2 weeks, and he was on the opposite. He started off hot. Got 2 quick goals and really kind of just didn't score later on. But you're still tying the leaders for goals. So it shows how it was just a defensive battle, tough, hard-fought battle, physical battle. And at the end of the day, my boys got it done. Still salute to Gold Coast. Ben King looked like the inferior brother today. And Harry McKay looked like the superior brother, excuse me, to Ben McKay. But yeah, man. Shout out to us, man. Go ahead. Can't say too much.
Yeah. With this game, this was actually one of the better games this week. It was definitely a back and forth game. You didn't know who was gonna win this game until the end of the game, bro. And
nervous the whole time.
Yeah, he pretty much said everything about this game. All good.
The Eddie Betts goal, where he almost did the dancing goal, that shit was like...
That's one of my main takeaway from this game. Eddie Betts still got it, bro. This nigga was definitely active, made a lot of key plays. I don't think y'all would have won without Eddie Betts.
Probably not, especially with the Ford's injury, bro. We really need him to come through, and we will continue to need him, bro, as long as we're still hurt, bro.
Yeah, and then Curnow turned up that game too.
Curnow, you talking about Ed Curnow? Yeah, facts. Ed Curnow played pretty straight. Luke Parks, my young boy with the hit, bro, smacked that boy in his chest, bro. Yeah. Hit that boy the coach just eat the dirt, man. Your nose bleeding. Guess what? Cause the Blues, man. Look, your face red, but the Blues had you bleaking, boy. Guess what?
So next game we got Collingwood and GWS, and so for me, I was expecting Collingwood to win this. GWS really showed me, I've always had that little faith in GWS that they were going to be a decent team, and then I've seen all the injuries they had, so I really kind of counted them out this whole season, but. Look, they're here to fight. Toby Green turned up. Harry Himmelberg, he's a player that I'm gonna be keeping an eye on. They're just a real tough, in-your-face team, and if they don't give up, if they fight to the end, GWS is gonna be a team to watch out for sure.
Yeah, I think GWS is just a team that's hammered by injuries, so it was even more of a compounded good feeling on the win against Collingwood. Collingwood, they're a question mark for me. I don't know where they're at. This game, they played pretty much 3 quarters. They didn't play the last quarter. They got smoked. But the 30-point lead goes to show pretty much the tail of the last quarter, not the whole game. I thought Toby Green, from the opening tip-off, he was pretty good. He was active. He made sure that he was around the ball, whether it was putting pressure defensively or offensively, he was there. It was crazy. What else did I have? I think they took the short mark approach. They took their time early on, try to make sure it gets some momentum going. Probably just to ease in also the subs and stuff from the injuries as well. That's kind of what I took away from that. I also seen that Darcy Moore, he's a good player, man. He's one of the best key defenders that I noticed in the league, man. He just seems to be a mark machine. It's really crazy. Bobby Hill is fucking good, man. He's a young player, man. He's going to be a player I'm watching out for. He's a shifty player, dude.
He probably had one of the most impressive marks this week. The one-handed Specky, that was pretty...
Moss. Grundy, too. Another thing that's worth noting, Grundy had a lot of hit-outs, but a lot of them weren't to advantage. So that goes to show, like, just because it's a hit-out, it don't mean shit if it's not going to the right space. So I'm going to keep an eye on Grundy. Yeah. I like to think he the best, or one of the best. But
got knick-knack, bro.
Hey, yeah.
So next game we got North Melbourne and Adelaide Crows. And North Melbourne lost as expected. I actually thought this was going to be a much bigger performance from Tex, but Tex only had those first 2 goals pretty early, and then he kind of fell off the rest of the game. I think he only had 3 goals total that game.
He had another goal like later on in the second quarter, but they had a fat drought where they wasn't really doing much.
North actually played pretty good.
I like what I seen from them.
I don't know what to say about North. It's like they have potential. It's just,
Yeah.
I mean, they scored 9 more points than last week and the week prior, so I guess they're moving in the right direction.
I think North. So this game, I learned more about North than I did about anything about Adelaide. Like you said, Tex got the first 2 goals. There was actually, it was kind of goofy at first because there was 2 holding the balls inside the defensive 50s for each team. And Larky got a goal off that, and Tex had a goal off that. And Tex had it was a bunch of turnovers in this game. It was a real sloppy game. It kind of made me realize, like, Adelaide, they might not be what the record's showing right now. I did take away that North, when they get into open field, open space, they can move the ball, and they can look a little dangerous, but certain points, like, well, most of the game, actually, they just can't find the target. They can't finish the play. It just looks like their whole goal was to get it inside the 50, and then once you get it there, it's like, what are we about to do? And it seemed like that was like the whole game, bro. But they did have good spurts, like I say. And North just really ended up giving up. Like, Adelaide didn't have a goal in the third quarter, so second and third quarter were kind of North, like the whole game. Stevenson had a good game, and there was a sequence where McKay passed it to Hall, and Hall passed it to Goldstein, and they had a nice goal. But at the end of the day, I think they didn't have enough subs to get them in there. And Adelaide just was showing more experience at the end of the day.
Adelaide definitely ran away with it in the fourth because it definitely could have went either way up until that point. But it's just, you gotta play all 4 quarters in this game.
It looked like an ass whoop if you don't. It's really an ass whoop if you don't.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Shout out to North, though. I do give them some respect from that game. Next game, we got Geelong and Melbourne. And every time I watch a game, bro, I just see Geelong. And granted, I will say they don't have their full team, but Geelong is disappointing, man. They're not... If you're supposed to be a top 3 or 4 side, right, in the preseason ladder and all this, you're not supposed to be getting smacked every game. And so you're getting smacked by Melbourne, and they are undefeated at the moment, which I can respect. But at the end of the day, you're not supposed to be getting beat handily like this. The whole game, I didn't really have confidence in Geelong. Like, I had Bailey Fritz, he was a mark magnet the whole game. He needs to work on his scoring, he does, absolutely. But he always is there. Every game he's there. And you'll know that you have to account for him. And Clayton Oliver with the most scoring involvements in the game. Petrarca with the most disposals in the game. And Jack Viney. Like, you have all these players that it's just too many people to account for. Meanwhile, Geelong is short-handed. And, like, you don't have the inside the 50 advantage. You don't have the hit-out advantage. You're just not putting yourself in a position to win the game. And so I'm just going to keep on moving them down and down, down until you prove to me that you actually you can get some games, some wins under your belt, something.
So with me, as much as I want to dislike Melbourne, they have shown me that they are a consistent team. Like, like you said, with Fridge, he can consistently do marks. All their players are can consistently do what they do. Max Garn is consistently gonna do him. Petrarca is gonna consistently do him. Like their whole team, this whole is just a consistent team. Like you, and if you can't deal with that, well, what I'm trying to say is you know what you're gonna get from Melbourne every game. Is the other team gonna show up or not? And Geelong didn't show up. They tried. They put up. They didn't even put up a good enough fight, to say the least. But Tom Hawkins,
Superhero.
Tom Hawkins with the elbow to the Stephen May.
Yep. Ooh.
Think that was on purpose, bro?
I don't think so. I'm not a Geelong fan. I don't know. I don't know my guy's track record. Mr. Hawkins. I don't know if his daddy was dirty too. I don't know. I don't know the track record, but it looked clean to me. It's just unfortunate. But how you feel about
it? It looked like it could have been played either way. Like it definitely had that look that it could have been intentional if bro was like that. Like you said, it's really depending on bro track record. If he's done it before, I would be like, yeah, he definitely did this shit on purpose. But I'm not sure. And Stephen May did pull him pretty hard to get him elbow to jerk back like that. So it really just depends on is Hawkins a dirty player, but you're playing with Dangerfield and other players that are getting suspended.
Rohan.
Yeah, Rohan. So it's like you're on a team that's kind of dirty already. So are you with that shit too? If y'all are taking out a player every game, it's kind of getting like a little suspicious. You know what I'm saying? But
Shout out to Noodles though. We got the last game of the round. Fremantle versus Hawthorn.
The Hawks, man. Hawthorn, bro. What's up, man? I thought the whole league was in this shit together to not let Frio win any games. Y'all over here y'all basically just handing it to him, bro. It's like y'all didn't show up at all in the first quarter, and then y'all had a good little moment of the game, I guess, between the second, like halfway through the second to halfway through the third. It was the Hawks game. They mounted a whole comeback in that time period, and then they just dropped it, let it go. They was like, and y'all didn't even have a lead. I think y'all brought it back to like a tie, and then Frio just got ahead on y'all boys. It's like, come on, bro. We all in this together when it's against Frio.
Yeah, this is a game where Fife returned. They played last week. They ran into us, I believe, last week. And they had a tough loss, so it was good. I'm pretty sure they were happy with getting their captain back, and they were happy with the results and playing with him. Matt Taberner is a player who I noticed stand out. He kept catching marks. I don't know, he might be a problem against y'all, man. He might be the fighting dude. I think he's like the enforcer. He kind of seems like the physical guy over there, so I can see him having some battles with West Coast. I think Fremantle kind of just dominated this game. Inside the 50s, it was 62-45, Frio's way. Clearances, 37-30 Frio, including this center clearances and defensive clearances. Frio had plus 10 marks inside the 50. So, you get the free kick there. So at that point, if you're getting 10 extra shots at the very least, come on, man. And Hawthorn's coached pretty well, or supposed to be, so it was kind of disappointing. I kind of just wrapped you up. Once I learned that you have a great coach, I was like, okay, they're always going to have a chance. And just they had the reputation already without even knowing about the coach that I was like, okay, they're a comeback team. And now you tie that in, you have a great coach. I'm like, all right, they should smoke Frio, considering we did. And we don't, we have David T. We don't have Clarkson. But I guess every dog can have his day. And it was Frio's day. I don't know, man.
That's the thing. It wasn't even Frio's day. They had 13 goals and 18 behind.
That is true.
Like, Frio's still ass. Don't think just because y'all beat the Hawks, y'all good, bro. Just because y'all beat the Hawks, y'all ain't making the 8, bro.
Nah, cause they got us again.
Yeah, so I mean, congratulations, I guess, bro. Free yo.
That's because they said in the comments nobody sing the Frio song.
That's round 4 recap.
Yeah, man. Let us know what you think. Appreciate all the support that we're getting, all the love that we're showing, that y'all showing us on the page, on the channel, every platform that we post on. We get consistent love, so we appreciate that. We know what we're getting from y'all. Y'all make us go harder every time. And we're just gonna, like we say, we're just committed to improving the channel.
So, yeah, and y'all don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, all that. And we just gonna keep on bringing content to y'all. So as long as y'all with us, we here for y'all. But y'all down. Till next time. Until next time.